So about a month ago, I posted this video of how I came across Bob Proctor and I was learning all about the law of attraction. It is my most viewed video on this channel. Today, I thought I would just speak a little bit more about that and the things that I was understanding and the things that I'm still understanding, to be honest, because I'm not a law of attraction guru. I'm still learning so much about it as I go along. I just find it to be very interesting, and I thought I would share with you the things that I've understood so far in the form of a bit of a recap. So the very first video that I came across by Bob Proctor, and I just love Bob so much. If you haven't heard about him, please do some research on him. He will teach you things that would change your life, I promise. So in this first video, he used no computer systems, nothing techie. He just stood there in an office space with a flip chart and a marker, and he basically drew. And I like that because that's the way I learn. I'm very visual. I need to see it in order to get it. And he just did that for me. So Bob drew on this flip chart this diagram that represents you when you come here on this planet as a baby. And he explained that when you come here, you have no information, no knowledge. Just like a computer, you have no programs. You know, when you purchase a new computer, until you put the programmings in it, it literally doesn't have any programs besides the stuff that it comes with. When you come here, you come empty. And everything that you know because of your programming. And your programming is everything that you were exposed to when you were a little baby. For example, if I was born to American parents, but my American parents gave me up for adoption, and I grew up in China, and I grew up around people that speaks Chinese, and I knew nothing about my American heritage, I would function and behave and have the culture of a Chinese person because that's my programming, because that's what I've been exposed to. Likewise, everything that you know, the things that you think, the way you behave, the way that you conduct yourself, all the thoughts that you believe are yours, they are so as a result of your environment. And we call that your paradigm. He went further to explain how the law of attraction works. And that to me was the most important part because that literally changed my life. Your programming determines the life that you will live. The things that you were exposed to determines the decisions that you will make. They determine your behavior. They determine the way that you will think and the things that you do. That then gives you a result of your quality of life. So whatsoever program that you have, whatever things that you believe and that are stored on the inside of you, which is called your subconscious mind, you attract these things more to yourself. If you believe that you are a wealthy person, or you're a wise person, or you're a healthy person, or that you have an abundant life, or you have a life of poverty, or whatever the belief is that you have, you tend to attract more experiences that supports the mindset that you have. And that to me was the real game changer. Now it is said that the first few years of your life determines quite a lot about you. The mind develops at a very rapid pace when we're children. Between the age 0 to 7, the child's brain waves stay in a state of theta. And in this brainwave, this is the part of our lives when we're the most absorbent, that we're receiving and taking in more information than ever. So say for example, during the first 7 years of your life, you were exposed to an environment of abuse, you were exposed to an environment of lack of poverty. It is very possible that throughout the remaining years of your life, that will continue to be your reoccurring experiences. Now, likewise, if during those years you also exposed to an environment of love and an environment of nurture, an environment of care, you would find and that tends to follow you for the remaining years of your life. Now you might say, hang on, I grew up in a very broken family, a very broken home. I had a very rough upbringing and my life today looks nothing like that. That is absolutely possible because you are not condemned to the first programmings of your years. You are not stuck to it. They can be changed. However, it takes deliberate effort and deliberate intentions to change the paradigm you were handed when you came to this planet so that you could produce and manifest a different life. Have you ever come across somebody that's always complaining about the same set of issues every time you speak to them, or they seem to have the same reoccurring issues happening in their lives over and over again? For example, somebody that gets in toxic relationships, and it would appear as if toxic relationships are chasing them. Everyone that they get in a relationship with, it just turned out to be the same thing. Not to bring judgment to anybody in a situation like that. However, that could very well mean that you've got a programming that makes you believe that toxic relationships are the norm. Maybe you grew up in an environment where toxic relationships were the norm. Maybe it was your parents. Maybe you saw your dad abuse your mom all the time, or maybe you saw your mom abuse your dad all the time. And during the first years of your life, that seeped into your mind to be the normal thing. So consciously, you know that that's not what you want. It does not bring you happiness. And you want a lifestyle that's completely different to that. However, every time you go to manifest, every time you go to create, every time you make a decision, it always results in you being in a toxic relationship. Likewise, have you ever come across somebody that seems to have all the luck in the world? They're always winning. If they play any games, they win. If they play the bingo, they win. If they buy the lottery ticket, they win. It seems like all the luck is following them and it's all good. It is very likely that someone like that has a programming that makes them believe that they are a winner. Maybe it was exposed to them from the time that they were a child, or somewhere in their lives they made the decision to change their paradigm, to believe that they are a winner and that they attract all the good things and that they do have good luck. And so it seems that all the good things are happening to them. Now, this information really started making sense to me when Bob spoke about the era in which he was born, which was an era of a depression. And he was born around poverty, a whole lot of poverty. And the words, the affirmations that he heard all the time were affirmations of lack, of we don't have enough money. I don't have 2 pennies to rub together. And I thought to myself, hang on, that sounds very familiar. There are certain demographics that you're born into, certain regions in the world that you're born into, certain families that you're born into where lack seems to be the norm. I don't know about you, but if you do a quick inventory in your mind or a quick scan in your mind to see how many successful people do you know, or how many wealthy people do you know, it would appear that quite a lot of us from the same particular environment seem to be in the same position. We're lacking. And the common vocab is, I'm broke. I don't have money. I'm struggling. I don't have 2 pennies to rub together. Can you lend me some money? We all seem to sing the same song and we all seem to say the same things. Now, if you're completely comfortable and you're okay with that, then that's absolutely fine, because a lot of people would think to themselves, well, that seems to be life. That's normal. Most of us deal with the same thing. So what? But if you want to be completely honest, there are people that don't use those vocabs. There are people that have a complete different lifestyle. And that to me speaks a lot about their programming. It speaks about their paradigm, the things that they believe about themselves and the things that they're attracting to themselves as a result of the law of attraction. I was completely relieved when Bob went on to explain that even if you were born into a certain programming, you're not stuck to it. You can change your programming. The same way you can change your programs on the computer, you can also change your paradigm. He went on to explain something that I've heard many other great leaders say before, and that is that repetition is the key of learning. Now, I know this, of course, because that's how I studied in school. If I wanted to study for an exam and pass the exam, I would need to study daily. I would need to continuously report to my books in order for me to get this information into my mind. Now, Bob taught me all about the power of affirmations and the ways in which I can reprogram my mind with repetition of information. He explained how he walked around with a tape recorder repeating the affirmations that he wanted to put into his new paradigm. So with this new information, I started making use of affirmations and it has been changing my life. If you are trying to change a certain programming that you realize you have, if you have a paradigm that you're wanting to shift, whether it's to go from a mindset of sickness to a mindset of health, or you want to go from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance, or you want to go from a mindset of brokenness to a mindset of being whole, you can do that with affirmations. The words that are coming out of your mouth, continuously repeated to yourself, continuously repeated to your subconscious mind, it can change the way you think. It can change the information that went in your mind when you were a little child. It takes time, but you are worth it. You might have noticed that since I started recording, it's gotten a bit dark in here. That's because the sun's going down. So I'm about to wrap up with my video. But if you have some time, I recommend that you look up Bob Proctor, look up the law of attraction, look up the power of affirmations. It is information that can enrich your life. It can change the relationships that you choose to get into. It can change the people that you allow to hang around you. It can change the decisions you make when it comes to your finances. It literally can change your life and make you a better person. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my video. Please check out my most recent videos and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you guys in the next video. Bye.